Hey skiers and boarders in the southeast, we've got a little bit of ice on the way. I'm first warned Storm Team Chief Meteorologist Brad Panovich here in Charlotte, North Carolina, tracking this huge storm system. Unfortunately, a lot of this is going to be sleet or freezing rain. We are going to see some snow out of this, but the big time snows have been in the middle of the country. This has been that big blizzard which moved across Kansas, is now moving into the Midwest, all the way back into Ohio. But notice down here, got a lot of thunder and lightning as well. We're going to see a lot of sleet out of this in North Carolina, but up towards the Virginias, we may see a little bit more of a snow-sleet mix, but I still think we're going to see some freezing rain on top of it, which is going to make it kind of messy as we go through Friday. Into Friday night and Saturday, most of the system begins to push east of us, and we see the moisture move out, so some colder air will filter in, so it looks like snowmaking and some grooming will be able to take place Saturday night into Sunday, which could chop up a lot of the ice that does fall. But temperatures will be chilly going into next week, and the pattern is just unbelievably active going into next week and into the first weekend in March. It is unbelievable the type of systems we're starting to see on the long-range guidance. I hate to get too excited because anything that far out you definitely can't get too specific with, but I tell you this, the pattern for that first weekend in March looks like a big East Coast storm. A huge trough digs into the eastern half of the country. So we'll have the combination of a lot of cold air and possibly some Gulf moisture and maybe a low pressure system trying to crank up and move up the coast. As far as the snow is concerned, doesn't look like a lot. I think most of it will be sleet accumulations, and then you see this little burst into the Piedmont of the Virginias, but we're probably looking at 1 to 2 inches of sleet and then some freezing rain on top of it. In fact, winter storm warnings up for Avery County, North Carolina. Winter weather advisories extend from basically Watauga County all the way up to Wisp, Maryland. So the whole chain is under some type of advisory, mainly for the kind of wintry mix we're going to see overnight tonight through the day on Friday, and maybe even into Saturday. We could see some freezing fog in some of those locations. If you're traveling to any of the slopes this weekend, conditions will be okay, but watch the roads. They're going to be a little slick in the early mornings as you head out. So for the weekend, we'll go through the Friday through Monday forecast. We're looking at some freezing rain changing to snow. I think if we see 2 to 4 inches, it likely will be a combination of ice and sleet with temperatures kind of mild in the upper 30s by day. We'll see some lower 20s at night. North Carolina is looking like more of an ice event. This is a significant ice storm likely for Watauga and Avery County. 1 to 2 inches of sleet, though, on the eastern slopes. This is going to be kind of an interesting storm. We're going to get upslope coming from the east, so the eastern-facing slopes will get a little bit more sleet. So places like Appalachian actually could end up with more snow than, let's say, Beach or Sugar, which is more towards the Tennessee line. Temperatures kind of mild in the 30s and 20s. Now, we're winding up the month of February here next week, but as I mentioned, the pattern seems to be some of the best pattern that I've seen all winter long. A lot of storm systems with some cold air, so hold on to your hats. We could have a great start to March, and it's definitely going to come in like a line. Until next week, have a great weekend, and as always, think snow.